Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hopefully everything's working. Hopefully the music's at a comfortable volume, and sorry for the delay. I had two cameras stop working when I opened OBS today, and so I was trying to make my coffee and do that at the same time. So yeah, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. I had to unplug a bunch of things, plug them back in, turn them off in OBS and turn them back on. I think everything's working. So main camera, overhead, the Aver Media camera, and I've got GoPro. I think it all works. Low volume? What's low volume? I'm actually going to turn down music. Oh, I know. I'm going to turn it on. My effects were off. My effects were off on my mic, so that would affect the balance. Yeah, so welcome Jason, Danny, Davi, Will, and Synchrotron, Andy, and others. Hey, Ed. It's loud now. Oh, well, this is like my normal settings. I'll just double check here. Yeah, normal settings. And normal, hang on. Okay, I don't need the preview. All right, so, yeah, kind of the plan is to do a Q&A section, and then I'll do like maybe a 10-minute timed sort of beat making section. I wanted to say songwriting session, but it's not really like a song. It's not going to be a song. We'll call it a beat. It'll have drums, it'll have some keys, and maybe guitar, and that's it. Well, then we'll run out of time. I'm definitely not going to sing today, so. And what else? What else are we doing? Oh yeah, then we'll go back to Q&A. We'll just alternate those two things. Yeah. I want to know are you listening to me on speakers or headphones? How many are you supposed to be working right now? But you're here instead. I get headaches most days. So like, it's a bad day if I have to wear headphones all day. But I understand. Davi, get off the group. Get off the Discord. Watch the video. I'm gonna shut it off. Okay. So let's start the Q&A section, and yeah, we'll chat. Can I do that? I can't do that here. I can do that in Firefox. Let's do All right, Q&A session has begun. I'm using the YouTube function for this. I don't know how to do this exactly. Let's check the Reaper audio as well. See what this level's coming in at. If I pause the music. Pause the music. Come on. Oh, it's pausing my YouTube stream. Let's try about that level. All right, back to music. Oh, come on. The shortcut will not work. How old am I? I am 39. I will be 40 this year. It's terrible. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that number, I guess. It's just a number, but the more that I don't accomplish anything, the more that it hurts. Have I peeped the new Cloud Seed yet, now that it has worked on Mac? I've never looked at Cloud Seed. What's my favorite actual guitar amp? That's probably the Jet City. I don't have a lot of experience with amps. You know, of the amps that I own, definitely the Jet City. Of the amps that I've used, probably that. I really like the Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, but it's just so damn loud. Like, you have to crank it to get a really great sound out of it, and it's just way too loud. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty old lately, and I don't know. I guess you'd always think about like your contribution to society and then compare to like the scale of the universe, and like, you know, it all kind of feels pointless. The Jet City is it's a JCA-20. I think that's the model. I first heard it in Amplitude, and they're like, oh yeah, this is just a great sort of hard rock kind of sound. And then the cab you mix it with is going to make a huge difference. But it's just like really easy to dial in, and it's good for high gain, takes pedals well. I haven't used it at all here, or hardly at all here. I keep planning on getting like a good attenuator, because I used to have the pink one. I forget what it's called. Hot something. What was it called? I forget what it's called, but it's like an attenuator thing. But it really changed the sound, and I didn't like how it changed the sound. So I sold that and planned on getting something else. Yeah, it's a pretty good, affordable amp. I like that company, Jet City. I miss being able to play through big speakers, like a 4x12. My last place, I was borrowing a 4x12 cabinet, and it was like an ancient Marshall, and it was all ripped up and stuff, but it sounded awesome. I still had to go through the attenuator for that, but it was nice to get some air moving. Any Reaper specific questions? I know you can ask me anything, but I kind of thought Reaper specific, or what do you call it? Audio technology, guitar pedals, guitars, you know, any of those topics are fair game right now. Danny says, I miss my 8x10 cabs. I don't think I've ever played through an 8x10 Ampeg. I've heard them in, you know, in the room, in the studio, and yeah, they're great. I feel like impulse responses of 8x10s don't really get the right feeling for some reason. They always seem smaller or like really weird mid-range. I mean, they sound massive in the room, but then in recordings, they don't always translate. I'd like to know if FFmpeg are working on Reaper 7. Yeah, you need a certain FFmpeg. You just go to reaper.blog/FFmpeg. You'll see the most recent information about that. Does anyone play with a hologram Chrome console pedal? I haven't. I've seen a few different things about it. It kind of reminds me of like an analog version of RC20 from XLN Audio, which is pretty neat. But yeah, I don't know. It seemed kind of expensive, and for the sort of sounds that I would want from it, it's kind of too subtle. Well, Hologram makes some really cool other stuff. I don't actually own any of the hologram pedals. I don't know. I don't want to dissuade you from getting it, but maybe like demo it first and see like if it does the thing you're looking for. Can you determine where the file in a session is located exactly? My files don't want to load when I search folders. Yeah, so a few different ways. If we go into Reaper, so if you have a session open, you can go to the View menu and then Project Media Effects Bay on the source page. All the files will be listed here, and then in the path section, it'll be where they are located on the drive. Now, you said you were opening a project and things were missing, so they will be kind of listed in the project file. Let's try this one, and just open it in a plain text editor. I'll open it in Sublime Text. And I'll see if I can find a lot of data for this plugin. I think this project actually doesn't have any. Anyways, you can find like within a specific project. Let's try this one. Media files will be listed with their path. So here, the path, that's render file. This is probably too complicated. So if you load a project and it's not finding it, there's two options. There's the browse button and the search option. And the search option allows you to only select that one specific file of the exact name. And the other option, browse, lets you choose like a relative directory, like the entire C drive. You shouldn't do that, but somewhere near that file, and then it will search. If you still can't find it, well, you've probably deleted it, or it's on a different drive or something like that. Maybe don't use the search function, but use the browse function when you're loading that project. Oh yeah, and then to avoid that issue of things going missing when you load a project, you go to Project Settings, which is usually the letter I icon in your main toolbar or from the file menu. Go to the Media tab, and you can make a folder here. So you just name this Media. It'll make a folder called Media. Anything you record or import should go here. And there is also this preference to override the global setting to copy the media. So if you're importing samples, you want them to copy so they don't get lost. Or if you, you don't want to move them usually. Yeah, just like if you're moving things around in the actual audio folder, most likely your Reaper project will not load correctly the first time until you resave it. Hopefully that makes sense. Cool, Danny. If you're on the Discord, share a little video of the Chroma console. I'd like to hear that. Trying to take my songs to a new PC, that's where things get missing. Okay, so what you could do is open the project on the first computer, and if everything is found, do a file save as, and then in the save as window, you have the option of copying or moving the project to a different directory. And so let's say you have an external drive, you make a version of it for transferring to your other computer. You just copy, create subdirectory and copy all media. That looks like this. So copy all media, and it will update the project file with the new location where it's supposed to be. It'll collect everything that needs to be there. Often you don't want to use move. Occasionally, only if you're really sure that the files in there are only used in that project, because otherwise you're like taking things out of your sample libraries, virtual instruments, possibly things like that. So you don't want to move too often. It's kind of annoying. This Q&A thing is not. I have to have two different chat windows open to see both. On the FFmpeg topic, you just have to have the right version. It's kind of hard to find sometimes. You probably don't really need it on Windows anymore because it has the built-in WMF encoder support. In the later part of Reaper 6, they added that, but it also works in Reaper 7. You can export H.264 with that. That was mainly the reason to get FFmpeg. Although if you do have FFmpeg, you have a few more options. But I haven't explored them all, and just generally, like, the quality is about the same either way, so I wouldn't worry too much. Let's do about 8 more minutes of Q&A. Keep the questions coming. And then we'll do another Q&A in a bit. Half hour, 45 minutes or so. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I haven't told anyone that I was going live, so let me grab a link while we're chatting here. Keep the questions coming. Got a post on Facebook. On Twitter. Yeah, give it a like. What features are you finding handy from the latest version of Reaper? Latest version of Reaper. I know I did a video about this. I don't know. I haven't used Reaper like all week. Since editing that video, I haven't opened Reaper except to answer some questions. I'm kind of blanking on what's new. Let me check my notes. I literally just like purged that information from my brain. Envelope manager changes, theme, region marker edges, selecting regions, closing control surface when rendering. I think that's probably my favorite change. Not having the control surface active while rendering, I think is just like kind of the expected behavior. Don't expect it to like be jumping around and stuff while rendering. So that's a nice thing. Importing, the changes to import have come up in conversation a few times, sort of unexpected changes. And the media import page, I forgot to actually show this, and I forgot to compare this to previous versions of Reaper. But some of this stuff looks different to me. I don't know for sure, but well, maybe I did show this. I don't remember. This tempo stuff here. All these settings might be new. Probably gonna set these to do nothing. Maybe that. Maybe that's the best way. I don't know. I think if you want the Reaper to work like it did in version 7.15 or earlier, then setting these to do nothing is what you're looking for. But some people were having issues like importing something and they would change to the project tempo, or the project tempo would change on them and things like that. So automatically adjust media to project tempo, prompt to adjust media. I don't know. The pop-ups are kind of annoying if you have it on prompt, but also like, I don't know. It is much faster to make it automatically do things. So one person emailed me because when they were importing things, they were importing at the wrong rate. It wasn't consistent. Like they weren't consistently stretching. So like to like a rate of 1.25 or something like that. It was a bit above and below for each one. So it wasn't matching the tempo and it wasn't retaining the original tempo. So maybe best to keep this on do nothing unless you really want everything to be automatic. I don't know. Have I used the arpeggiate mouse modifier in the MIDI editor? It usually doesn't work properly for me. I don't know. I really don't know if I've used that. No. Maybe, but I don't think so. Piano roll. I'm not seeing an arpeggiate option. Are you sure it's a different one? Or are you sure it's not a different setting? It could be the paint option. Paint notes. So what I do use for arpeggios is a set of custom actions and a menu. So I do insert arpeggio, and then I'll do like a major, and it'll add those notes in. And what that's actually doing is inserting a note and then moving a certain number of steps, and it's all sort of like a linear process in the custom action. And that's an ancient function that somebody made years and years ago. I think most Reaper YouTube channels have covered that at least once. I know I have, and Reaper Tips has probably twice. All right, so one last check at the Q&A list. Nothing new there. I will end the Q&A. Chord strum thing, I don't have a good workflow for that. I would like to get something that can like simulate down picking and up picking, but I haven't really seen anything that's automatic. Probably is something, but maybe not something great. All right, so let's do a bit of setup here on this challenge. I will pick some sounds. I'll switch to headphones here. So in XO, I've got some sounds already picked, kind of. Come on, resize. Is there not resize? I guess not. So, actually, I don't like the snare. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. That's weird. When I there must be a pitch setting. Yeah, there it is. Okay, and okay, it's not going to automatically play. All right, so in Analog Lab, I've got '60s synth strings. Second one will be some other. Probably another pad. I like that one. And then the third analog lab. Yeah, XO is a wild plugin. Let's try a lead. Sure. Well, that might go with it, might not. But it's a starting point. It's different than the other sounds. And then we need a bass. I want to know why it just suddenly jumps down to another thing. It always does that on me. What is that? Let's try that. I don't know. And going back to actually no, let's do like a ARP sequence. Actually, no, let's not do an ARP. I feel like that like leads the songwriting too much. Sure. Samir, okay. Isotope plugins, 11 to 15 second loading time. Is it common? I think it is common. There's a couple things. Some plugins are just really heavy and unoptimized, especially on, so if you have a slightly older machine, they're not made to be like, be super optimized for older machines. They're made for like the latest and greatest, which is super annoying. Isotope is always doing that. You have to have like the best computer, and then you'll have to pay for an upgrade each year, basically. The other thing is that it's checking for licenses and then it's checking for updates on load. So like the first time you load it for a day, especially if it's been like a week since you last used it, it's going to take a while. But probably the second time you load it in a day, it should be faster. For example, like Analog Lab today took like 10 seconds and I was considering not using it. And then since then, 1-2 seconds to load it. So it's not too bad. So I'll probably be fine with it. But I think it's usually like, if you don't turn off auto update or checking for updates, it will do that. And then the other thing is looking for the license, which you can't really speed up. So if you've got a lot of RAM, got a fast processor, there's not much else you can do. Like you've done all you can, but I would say since like version 3 of Isotope plugins, they've just taken longer and longer and longer each time you load. But there's no setting in Reaper that makes it faster. There is a setting that makes it more stable when opening plugins. What is that called? So preferences, plugins, VST, bypass audio while opening plugin configuration window. I always enable that. You do get like the audio won't come through while opening the plugin, but it's less likely to crash. Crashes often happen during that inserting a plugin stage, and this that makes it less often. Okay, so what do you think? 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Let's say 15 minutes. Timer 15 minutes. All right, timer started. 99 beats per minute. Let's hear what that sounds like. I think that's actually a bit off. Let's try 97. Let's just keep this interesting. A second camera angle. Wow. Is my timing fucking off or what? It's yeah, that's pretty far off. Buffer size or just lack of talent? Okay, now let me show you this. To write into this, again, I'm not supposed to be doing a tutorial while doing a challenge. To add more notes to this, I need to do record MIDI overdub. I'm gonna turn looping on, and then it probably doesn't matter, but I'll just also add in time selection auto punch. And I should be able to record into this and add additional notes. So let's just... Yeah. Oh, I didn't go long enough. All right, and then I can come out of record. Yeah, I don't know. All right, it's a start. Can play something else on this. Yeah, so crop to active take. And piano mode. All right, so this, now I can't see. Oh, wrong button. This one. Okay, so this can go probably 8 times. And maybe that. Let's do a count in before recording, run. Yeah. Did I not hit record? Oh, I didn't make a time selection. That's why I couldn't see it, and I couldn't hear it because monitor track media when recording was turned off. So let me just check all these other. So those should all be on, right? Yes. The attack time on this is so long. Okay, so I'll just tweak that. Like that. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to copy this one basically an octave higher. On that, and then we'll arrange this into a sequence. Okay, and what was this? See if I can. This probably won't work because it's not the right tempo. Solo this and this. I don't think that's working. So hard to get the tempo exact. Let's try it though. Close. It's not right. And I didn't hit record. Oops. Messed up a bit. And honestly, playing it multiple times when it's the exact same thing, probably not the best thing for time, but oh, I forgot I was recording the MIDI, not the audio, so actually that's not that bad. Huh. I want to quantize notes, position. It does seem to make them longer though. It's weird, it like misses one? Why does it miss one? I know, it's stupid to play it in and just quantize it after. Like, could have done it faster with the paint tool, but... come on. Stuck notes, really? In 2024? I don't even remember what button to... Yeah, so for a second it felt like I was cooking. But, yeah, okay. I think I know what I was doing. And that's where I ran out of time. And I did those last couple notes wrong. But, yeah, so it's garbage. But that's also the most amount of music that I've made in the past month. I don't know. There should be a panic button at the bottom. I was looking for one in Analog Lab. I was also noticing that one of those times when I played it, when I was recording in, the other synths didn't play the first notes. Okay, so I actually haven't looked at the chat at all. Analog Lab is pretty cool. I think it's got some bugs. I just frequently run into bugs with it, with parameter assignments and stuck notes and missing notes. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a Moog, it's a Behringer. It's a Behringer Poly D, which means that it has built-in distortion, chorus, and sequencer, and an additional voice that you know, a mini Moog wouldn't have. Yeah, I mentioned this before, but probably the best purchase of last year. Probably the best thing I got last year. It's like my main controller now. It sounds great. I obviously didn't hear it where I was using MIDI, but yeah, it's a good MIDI controller. It's a pretty good size keyboard. I wish it had aftertouch because I kind of miss having that. But yeah, the synth is cool. Lots of stuff to do, and I love that the sequencer and arpeggiator transmit the MIDI as well. So the tricky thing is syncing it with everything else, and I think I've got it set up to control the speed of the drum machine and stuff, but I'm not always using a sequence, and then that doesn't work. I don't know. It's complicated. Okay, so let's just arrange this a little bit. So I've got bits and pieces of a song, right? Let's take this one drum thing. Let's mute them and that, I guess. Okay, so that'll be like the intro, and then So that'll go like twice. I'll have a drone. And then this whole thing comes again, and this will go there. Duplicate that, and then probably there. And then why is that around? Oh yeah. That there. This mic stand kind of gets in the way sometimes. Actually, no, I don't need to do that. I'll do that. And then the ARP. Nope. Bit too much modulation. Okay. Oops. Yeah. Okay, let's mix it, I guess. Okay. It is what it is. For 15 minutes, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I set out to do. But I don't know. There's just not enough layers. There's not enough time to do everything. Someone said 9 Inch Nails. I was thinking more health, but health is obviously very influenced by 9 Inch Nails as well. Thanks for following up about the FFmpeg. Squid, thank you. All right, should we do more Q&A or anything like that? Any questions? Oh, sick. Moog Voyagers are awesome. We witnessed it. It's funny. If you've never listened to Health, their most recent selected works, sort of compilation, is a pretty good intro to that. The whole Rat Wars album I really like, and Slaves of Fear. I don't like the remix and collaboration albums that are labeled as disco as much, but they've got a lot of good songs. Yeah, I don't know, like what. How do you write a bunch of great songs, write a bunch of okay songs? Yeah, I think just having a bunch to choose from, to choose where to continue from. But you got to just start. And yeah, no, just got to start. I keep wanting to play this on the stream. I don't know how the stream's going to react to this. If it's going to get copyright claimed or what do you call it? But this is kind of like the best case scenario for AI music. I love it. It's so good. Yeah, I haven't produced any good music since that came out. So I think it's really good. Yeah, like what? I don't think there's any like respectable artist that's going to write a song like that and sing it, but it's like it's pretty good, right? Obscurest Vinyl. Find them on YouTube. Hopefully, hopefully the stream doesn't get taken down just because I put that on. I don't know what copyright would be like copyright claims and stuff would be like for this stuff. But I mean, quit jizzing in the hot tub. You look like you could use a fucking lamp. It's time to take a shit on company's dime. These are all just amazing songs. They're just so good. And they wouldn't exist without AI, right? No one's going to write a song and produce it and everything. But I mean, maybe. Now that these are like hits, these are like 1 million plays, 6 million plays. You you know, that's the demo. Someone can re-record it. But what's the copyright like on this? Like, did somebody actually write it? Or was it all AI? AI lyrics, AI music? But like a well-produced version of some of these would be pretty awesome.
Oh, my arms are just fucking stuck like this. This ain't normal. What do I do? Now I gotta walk like a douche for the rest of my life. Now I gotta walk like a douche for the rest of my life.
Curious about the New Goth playlist? Yeah, this is a YouTube generated playlist. I think, yeah. Placebo, Interpol, Twin Tribes, Health, Perturbator, lots of Health, Chelsea Wolf. I did have my own New Goth playlist, which is Gunship, Health, Crosses, Boy Harsher, Perturbator, Chelsea Wolf. Sometimes it's good to like just start a playlist and then it will suggest to you more music similar. All right, back to the streaming soundtrack, which is all royalty free and no AI. Yeah, I mean, with the copyright strike stuff or copyright claims, revenue sharing stuff, I think some of that stuff is fair. Like adding the music improves the stream or it improves the video, and then it you know, the stream wouldn't be as good without the background music, that sort of thing. So it should get some payment. But when you get a royalty-free song and you put it in, and then that still gets claimed, that's really annoying. I don't know. And it's so exploitable, I guess. All right, any questions about Reaper or anything else? It seems like the stream didn't get any copyright claims or anything during that. So, that's all good. Copyright laws are ancient. They need to be updated for sure. You can get real-time copyright strikes during streaming. There might be like a 5 to 20 minute delay. But like if you try to watch a movie on stream, it usually gets hit pretty quickly. What am I doing this weekend? I don't know. I think it's going to rain here, so I probably won't get a whole lot done. I don't know. I want to go to my brother's shop and build stuff, make stuff, clean tools, something like that. I've been doing a lot of like tool restoration for some reason. Like I cannot help myself but go to the local thrift stores, dig through the toolboxes, and bring something home like every time I go. I guess because it's a small project, I can start and finish in a day and then have a usable tool that's already lasted 50, 60 years, maybe 100 years, who knows. Yeah, Danny, I would. So there's lots of little projects like that that I've been working on, and just really just following like whatever my interests are. Like, I'll wake up and I'll, you know, I'm a very bad full-time content creator. I've only had one video this month and a stream, so not a very good full-time creator. What's my number one Reaper feature request? I don't know. I don't know. Like, it used to be like a better user guide, more documentation, and then obviously we've got all Kenny's videos. That's part of the documentation now officially, so I don't know, just a way to get people to read the user guide or get a little more educated. I don't know. Razor edit in the MIDI editor? I guess. If it's not raining, I'll probably go out to, I'll probably go for a nature walk. And maybe I'll bring my field recorder. I don't know. I should actually get my batteries back from my brother so that I can actually take my camera out. Yeah, I think like updated plugin UIs is like sort of an easy thing that I know that they can do. I don't know. That theme, the theme editor needs to come out. It's hard to believe that it's taken so long, but it is looking good at least. The White Ties theme editor looking really good. Reaper 7 could have waited for that, but I don't know. It seems like Kenny's been putting out a bunch of videos that are like repeats. Is that just my perception? I haven't watched them, but it seems like there are a lot of repeats. Topics or titles that I've seen before. I don't like remaking the same video, but he doesn't seem to bother. Maybe he's AI. Is Kenny AI now? I haven't been watching. What field recorder do I use? I have a Zoom F3 and a Zoom H5. I don't have a great setup for the F3 right now. I want to get an MS mic. I don't know. Kenny is how I started with learning Reaper, so, you know. I don't like to complain about him too much. Yeah, more replugs or integrating some of the community's best JS effects into Reaper would get more notice from outside of the community, I think. H5, yeah, H5 is good because it has the built-in mics. You still need wind protection, and you have to watch out for handling noise. The F3 is like a really small sort of brick, and it has 32-bit recording, which is nice. So like no need to set gains and things like that. The Essential H1 Essential, I think the sound quality is a little bit lower than some of the others because it is so small and inexpensive, like $100 or something. But 32-bit is nice. You're going to need some noise reduction after. But I think no matter what, you're going to use a bit of noise reduction. I'd like to see the range view dockable. So then you can use the mixer docked full screen as well. On Windows, there's a trick to that. And Davi, are you still here? I was going to show you something the other day for this. So the problem with having the mixer floating is that any plugin that you click away from will go behind it. There's no like there's the pin to top function, but there's not a pin to back function. All right, so if you're on Windows, you take your main Reaper window, you extend it across 2 monitors. Then you dock your mixer or MIDI editor or anything else onto that second monitor and snap it, and then you just drag the divider between the arrange view and your other windows to right where your divider between the 2 monitors is. So need a I guess that's my biggest complaint, although there's usually a workaround for it. A pin to back function, or like make particular window the background, and then any plugin windows, things like that, never go behind it. So having the mixer always back would be ideal rather than always on top. So that trick with extending the desktop doesn't work on, or extending the main window doesn't work on Mac because of just how each window is an object and things. You can dock on a second monitor. I have Windows and use multiple monitors and never knew that. Extend your main window across multiple screens and then dock into the arrange view on that second screen, and then just change the divider to where the gap between the 2 monitors is. Yeah, that's what I did when I was on Windows. That's what I did. And it worked well. On Mac, all I'm doing is basically just using screen sets, and any floating windows just get killed, just get closed, and reopen them again as needed. So I almost never have plugin windows open and just kind of chilling in the background or anything. Do I use a lot of JS effects? Not a lot. There's some unique things in there. I don't know. I tend to go with like third-party plugins. I've got so many plugins. It's like kind of just whatever catches my eye first is the one I go with. I love screen sets. I think that's one of the best ways to work quickly. So there's my number 1. Looks like this. Number 2 brings up the mixer, basically full screen, almost full screen. Number 3 is a mix of both. So 1 and 3 is kind of like my 2 main ones. Number 4 is a single monitor video editing setup. Look at the video window. I've got monitoring, got my FX browser, mixer, media explorer, action list. You don't usually use all these things at the same time. So, but if I want to go to the action list, just do that. If I want the media explorer, I press that. If I want to reset the entire window, because it's been resized or whatever, I just press that number key again, my number 4, and then brings it that. And then number 5 is going to look just like this, essentially. It's kind of similar to number 3, except I have a full screen video window on my second monitor. So often instead of finding this button and closing the window, I just press the screen set again to reset my main window. Do I have mastering videos? Yeah, I do. I have a few. Just check the channel. Some possibly on mastering with only Reaper stuff, but definitely stuff with Isotope plugins and T-Rax plugins and others. Yeah, screen sets are super important for positioning windows in a repeatable way. How do you have the media item volume effects buttons inside the media items instead of being above? Okay, so it's going to be preferences, appearance, media. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. All right. Anyways, these are my settings. I'm not sure 100% which one puts them in there. It may just be the height. Might be this height setting. Yeah, sends, sidechain and sends is actually pretty simple. So creating a send in Reaper is usually just a drag and drop process. Let's go to the mixer view. And so this is the send section. And so drag, drop, and you've created a send. But to make it a sidechain send, you have to go into new channels. But for now, let's do, actually with this, I do need to have multiple outs. Probably. Yeah. Multi-channel routing. Yes, and then I forget how to route these to different outs. One sec. How do we choose which out? Group. Oh. I forget how this works. Maybe I've never done it. There it is. Wait, auto route all 1 to 8. Okay. All right, pause the music. All right. Kick is bus 1. So I want the kick to trigger sidechain on, let's say, yeah, this one. Okay. So we need a compressor. So let's just do reEQ or recomp. All right. So I got my plugin here. And I'm just going to drag from the kick track into the plugin. You can see that the cursor changes to a like a cable icon. And when I drop that in, it comes up with the send, and it's automatically routed to channels 3 and 4, which is the auxiliary input of recomp. All I need to do is set the detector input to auxiliary input. Choose a ratio, it's already 4:1, and just adjust the threshold. Hopefully you can see and hear that, but that's all you need to do. Drag from the sending track, send section, into the plugin that you want to sidechain, and just make sure it's set to auxiliary input. Could do the same thing with other plugins. This track was active. And we can do the same thing here. So I'm going to copy my recomp over there and then drag and drop. Oops. Make sure that that plugin is open, and then we'll drag and drop. Actually, you know what? This one I should have, make sure that the volume is all the way up. You're not sending MIDI, and then just configure the attack and release to taste. If you also want the snare to trigger, this is where it may be a little bit different because this changed in Reaper 7. So once you have the routing to channels 3 and 4 already created for a track, you don't want to send into the same plugin again, or that's going to increase the send number. So we're just going to take from the snare track and drop it onto the synth track, and just make sure that this goes to 3/4 instead of creating a new send to like 5 and 6. Now this is triggering from kick and snare. Hopefully that makes sense. After the first send is fast, the second one is slightly, you have to do it slightly different. Yeah, I am using the X Touch. Not much today. I've only adjusted volumes with it. All right, this hi-hat pattern is oops, not great. But am I gonna fix it? Am I actually gonna fix it? Great question. Let's use the plugin Duck. Is there a hi-hat pattern? Weird, I'm not actually hearing that. Did I put on the wrong track? Oh, I did. There we go. Okay, and yeah, I don't know. I'll go back to looking at the chat because I haven't been looking for a while. How do the pin connectors work in Reaper? So, track channel is like the input to the track, or for the sound from the media item, and then you're choosing where it goes to. So the default will always be like two, like a diagonal line with two dots. And then, yeah, you're just doing left and right. If you do this, then it's the same, the left signal channel, whatever's on channel 3 will be repeated for sidechain input 2. Most of the time they are the same. You're sending a mono signal, it's identical. But if you're not, if you only want, you know, the left side of some stereo source to trigger, then you would do this instead of this. Or do this instead of that. If these aren't connected, the signal will either pass through, which is this setting, or zero out. Zero out means mute, unconnected. But pass through just means that it will go around this plugin to the next. Just going to do some parameter modulation, a little LFO action. Let's start it centered. And then change the strength. Do you think it would be better if more people start making Reaper tutorials, or it's better to have less but high quality reputable sources for tutorials? I think everyone is welcome to make videos on things that they're interested in. And there's no reason to think that you're like stepping on anyone's toes or anything like that. Everyone's got their own spin on it. No one's going to make the exact same video. Different people will find your video. Some of the same people will find both videos. They'll like one more than the other. If they come out at different times, then it'll be a reminder for them, all that sort of thing. I think it's all good. The more the merrier. But it is tough to like make money with it, for sure. We do have a pretty nice community. I don't think you necessarily even need to find like the specific niche for Reaper videos. I think just generally making videos about Reaper is fine. There's lots of people that will watch that. But yeah, like sound design for Reaper videos, that's one niche. Music production, composing with Reaper. But really like doing the overall sound design videos and then using video because or using Reaper because that's more important. I think. I don't know. I kind of stuck making Reaper videos, having a website called the Reaper blog. You think they should have macros in the effects browser? Not in the browser, but for the effects chain, macros would be good. You can add track controls now. You can add a plugin that you can link multiple things. It's just many steps, and it may not be worth doing. You're more. I think your best bet is to use a plugin like Snap Heap, Phase Plant. I don't know, any of those multi-effects plugins that have just all the effects you would need in one place that are easy to link to macros. What's another one? Infiltrator. What's the best Reaper extension for Xtouch? I like CSI. Do I have video tutorials explaining functions of Xtouch with CSI? I did a stream or two with CSI, but I haven't made the actual tutorial video on CSI because it's constantly changing. I'm using the experimental version. And I was like geared up to like make the video a couple months ago, and the developer said, just hang on until the next update. So I don't know. Do I use the track wiring view? No. Think it needs more love? For sure, because it's I think the layout is almost inverted. It's laid out like a pedal board. Right? You should have a way of flipping that, or let's just open it up. I haven't looked at it in a while. So the track wiring view, if you guys don't know, it's sort of an overview of everything, all the routing that's happening in the project. So let's say the track called XO on audio, has 8 outputs. That's going to, well, 9 outputs, 9 stereo outputs. That's going to 9 tracks. And then if I take bus 3 track, that's going as 2 sends on it. If you hover over things, you can see the cables. And you can enable that so that they're always visible, like that. Some people don't like just this approach. It should be flipped, maybe, or some other way of viewing this. I think it's interesting, but I don't tend to use it at all. It's easy to make this a mess, and there's no like cleanup button. I don't know. It never really got, I think it got one update, and it's just for the show only on Hover. I think that was the only update this ever got. Like, you can't really like create routings with this, I don't think. Can you? Maybe you can. Let's send here to, no. Here to here. New send. Yeah, I guess you can. I just never done it. I don't know. This is like just so spread out. It's hard to see what you're doing. I prefer just mixer view, and I already understand the routing. I never use this. Yeah, if it was more node-based, that'd be interesting. Like, for node-based stuff, I've pretty much only used, what's that app? Resolve. Yeah, the CSI related stuff was live streams. There's the day that I got it, and then one or two other ones. I don't know. I would really just like go with the current version of CSI and download or install the Xtouch layout that comes with it. It's like basically ready to go without having to customize anything. But there are a few things that you would probably eventually want to customize. And some of those things can be explained from the live stream. Although things change. I don't know. It's always changing. And I hate remaking videos, so I don't want to put something out and have to redo it. Like the number of times I've had to do videos on installing repack is so annoying. I'm pretty used to the layer-based things with Photoshop, stuff like that. Nodes get confusing for me. I'm just gonna take a break for a minute. Yeah. See you soon. found beans. He's so big now. Look at this guy. He's huge. He left a cloud of hair. What are we doing? Okay, so let's could do another sort of time challenge thing. Just use the same sort of template got set up, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna do that button, and I'll do this button, and what's the tempo? Yeah, let's do something like that, if I can manage it. I think that was okay. No, it's not okay. I should just auto-quantize. Oh, yeah. Timer 13 minutes. I'm using XO from XLN Audio. These, come on, select. These do not start. Why is like snapping turned off? There we go. It's taking longer. My timing is horrible. All right, well, I will try again with more effort. It's like I'm not even listening to the click at all or something. Like what the fuck? Oh, it's so bad. It doesn't feel like I'm playing it that bad, but I must be, right? I must be. Tell me if I'm... Like, is it... When I play it, is it the same as what you... When I play it back? When I'm performing it, is it the same? Nope. Is the stream causing latency? I don't think so. Quantize is not working at all. It's making me sick. Why is my quick quantize not working? I don't know what's happening. It seems different after I play it. It is cursed. I want it to be slightly loose, but this is just too far. This is bad TV right now. Sorry. It's the insistence on playing it in real time while having a preference for quantized sounds. Can't see the notes. Okay. That's better. All right, take this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why is it not counting in? That's why. Where's the button? There's the button. I don't know. Go to next synth. All right, I'm gonna add a reverb of some sort. I don't know. Kilohertz reverb, I guess. And this will just have to be whatever I get. Send from... No, I already hate it. I hate it. All right, how about I just add in the poly D as an input, the analog input. What's the input number? It's that was right. I got way less done this time than... Oh great, my tuner. Complete failure. Complete failure, oh well. Hello everyone, hello all new people. I forgot I had a hardware reverb connected here. Wrong track. Not sure why it's louder on one side. What if I just start with something like that and just do the drums after? Okay. Then it's just a matter of taking the start, go to the start of the item, tab, snap. Okay, so I can tell that there is a thing there. Let's do... I forgot I made those stretch markers huge in the video. Let's fix that. Media item. Stretch marker size is 12 or 6. All right. No. Let's do 12. Okay. Okay, so right there I was using a custom action that I call add stretch marker under mouse and snap to nearest grid line. Okay, and then this is the actual portion that I will loop. Oh, but stretch markers don't loop, do they? Okay. All right. Poly D is done, and we'll go to the drums. Oh, that was weird. Oh. Those double hits, triple hits are not. What's the... Holy hell, those are what's massive? Massive? What's massive? These are all quantized the wrong direction, aren't they? I'm just fucking this up so much. Oh well. All right, now can I get some of these virtual synths in here? Yeah, something like that. What a dumbass. Oh, the stretch markers are massive, yeah. I was just testing the limits of how big you can make them. 100 pixels or 30% of the waveform. I don't think I've used that sound at all in this project. Yeah, I'll try that. Just putting on any idea that's like a maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I'm just messing with the arpeggio. I need to actually try retrospective recording a lot, or in general. I haven't used it at all, and that's never seemed to like insert what I had just played where I played it. It might save me some time if I can get the hang of it. All right, well, we've made some bad music today. If you missed the first track, here it is. Sidechain's a bit excessive. Oh. That's the start of something that seems quite generic. I don't know. I'm gonna save without, I'm gonna quit without saving. Okay. One more Q&A period before we go, maybe. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Place your vote. Yeah, I think potentially those could be similar, like parts of the same song. They ended up being the same tempo, and what's the other thing? And it's the same sort of group of sounds. So, yeah, they could be same song. I was kind of thinking that too, but I know I'm not going to finish it, and it's not good enough to continue with, I think. All right, I'm gonna end the poll in like 1 minute. If you're not in the chat, head over there and vote on this very important topic. Did I ever meet Kenny? Not in person. He's been on two podcasts, I think. I was on his Mixed Notes from Hell podcast once, and he was on the Mastering Show podcast once. Yeah, the votes keeping it at 50-50. A lot of people complain about the way that Kenny talks, but it's effective, and it's hard to keep up with him at normal speed when he's on a podcast or something. He's fast. A fast talker. On the AI topic, are you currently using any AI tools? I've kind of stopped using AI tools. All right. By a narrow margin, the community thinks that Kenny has been replaced by AI. So I used to use Midjourney. I used to use ChatGPT quite a lot. I subscribed to Midjourney at least 6 months, and then I just completely stopped using it at all. Yeah, and as far as like AI machine learning tools, there's not a whole lot that I'm using, or like that I'm aware of, I guess. I've noticed that like search results are getting pretty bad on Google because they're relying on an AI to pick the best answer. And the summaries are often like joke answers from Reddit. There's some videos about it on YouTube. There's some pretty good examples. You remember having to go to like page 3 of Google? Me neither. I can't watch Some Ordinary Gamers. I have in the past, but I can't regularly watch it. ChatGPT is useful sometimes. It can do some sort of complex rearranging of text, which I find helpful. Yeah, Justin is far more efficient coder than ChatGPT. No, but there's things like if I take the changelog and I want to remove every like plus sign and space and any repetition of a certain word, like let's say the word Media Explorer is repeated multiple times on each line, I can reduce the number of repeats and manual edits I need to do when I'm creating the changelog titles for the videos. So I've used ChatGPT for that a few times. Or yeah, like if I have a list of text that like I copy from somewhere and it needs to be rearranged, I'll do that rather than generating new text. Although I have, like when ChatGPT was new, I did like generate some like video description and stuff with ChatGPT, but I don't know, it's so generic. It's just so incredibly generic now. Everyone's doing it, or everyone was doing it. And so it just looks like ChatGPT rather than in the first couple of months it was like, oh yeah, that's passable. And now it's like so obviously GPT. But I haven't tried GPT-4. I haven't tried any of the like sort of Reaper bots that people have been using or creating or whatever, using, I guess. Yeah, Notepad++ is very good. Same with Sublime Text. But you kind of have to like build out the code or the algorithm to process that. And sometimes, like once you've done it once in ChatGPT, you can just, you know, basically just give it a new code and, you know, fix it up. Do I have finger drumming skills? No. Did you see my MIDI programming today? It's terrible. My finger drumming skills are not good. I was absolutely terrible today. What else? What else is actually interesting with AI stuff these days? All the assistant things have just been terrible. The like clip-on devices or the Rabbit, those have just been completely useless. Like you still need your phone for it, and the phone is way faster. I don't know. I'm sure I could get better at finger drumming, but I just don't practice it. Need a good controller for that. Yeah. Yeah, having a good controller and yeah, not using the sequencer, just playing it in. Have I used audio separators? No, I actually haven't. I haven't really felt the need to. Are there new re-scripts I can recommend? Yes, but I want to do videos about them. I'll just give you the names of them. What is it? One Small Step, just steps input script. Perfect Timing Audio Quantizer, and Snap Shooter. There's 3 different scripts that are on my list to do, but I just haven't felt like it. Yeah, Siri has always been bad, but yeah, I mean it's kind of annoying. Yeah, sometimes like I need to have like a purpose, like a personal need to do something with Reaper, and then I search for a script, and then I learn the script, and then I have the example project kind of already done. But currently, like I'm not mixing projects, I'm not like writing music. I don't have a need to like open Reaper all that much this, you know, the past month. So I haven't like felt like going and, you know, contriving a situation where I need a particular script. But these are just things that just from browsing, I'm like, oh, those are interesting. And I wrote them down just because I would definitely lose them. How do I discover new scripts? Browsing the Reaper forum. I think this is the best way. So the forum on the Reaper website, I usually just hit new posts and I'll just browse and see what's new. I've been on here since, I don't know, 2009 or something like that. New scripts, new themes. Not that I really changed my theme all that much, but yeah, there's just lots of good stuff in here all the time. I'm checking this a few times a day. I actually don't know when I joined the forum. Yeah, since July 2009. I still haven't been able to change my username here, but oh well. First started using Reaper in 2020. That was a good time to get into it. Yeah, I dabbled with it in 2008, probably. It was the first time trying it. Version 3.2, I think was, or 320 was when I first started like paying attention to it. And that's around the time that Kenny was making videos. And Kenny and I were both Pro Tools users at the time. And but I mean, that company sucks, so we were looking for alternatives. Yeah, and then I didn't do the blog until 2011, I think. But I was watching Kenny's videos in 2006. So, yeah, really, really long time. What was I was about to look something up. I forgot. I wanted to check. What was it? I wanted to see what the audience has been watching recently, if there's anything that I didn't know about. Reaper Mania, Dan Worrell, White Sea Studios, Spectre Sound Studios, Sanjay C, Ola England, Streaky, Weaver Beats, Hardcore Music Studio, Loop Pop, Music Tech Help Guy, Mixbus TV, Amner Hunter, the Crow Hill Company in the mix. Yeah, this is all stuff that I've subscribed to half of those, but yeah. That sounds like a part of Davi's subscriptions. Pretty sure that Davi watches all those. I've been watching a lot of like living off-grid, tiny house, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And hand tool rescue. I've been watching a shitload of that. Yeah, Weaver Beats, I watch a fair amount. I watched a bunch of videos on restoring hand planes, how to sharpen them, things like that. What else? I was watching this, I think she's British. She lives in, she moved to Sweden and bought like an abandoned cabin. I forget what her name is. Rosie, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what her name is. Roaming Wild Rosie. I really like what she's managed to do all by herself in the woods. Like completely restoring a cabin herself. Maybe not a cabin, but like a house, really. All herself. Barely any tools. And very little experience, but it's just like, she's getting so good. It's awesome. Yeah, I watch Ben Jordan. Ben Jordan's videos make your brain hurt. Ben Jordan and guy with glasses. Oh, Venus Theory. Yeah, of course. Yeah, watching him. I got a bunch of decent sampler packs from Venus Theory over the past week, but I haven't even extracted them from the zip files yet. Maybe next week. Yeah, the Aphex Twin one was a good one. I was kind of thinking about the old software stuff. So I don't use any old software, really. Like, if Isotope RX version 2 or 3 still worked on Mac, I would be using that instead of like having to upgrade to version 10, version 11, stuff like that. Because I use it the same way. I'm not using any of the new features. I'm using it in essentially the same way as I did before. And I don't know. I didn't need to upgrade, except that you have to continue using it with the current operating systems. I need to upgrade my computers periodically. I'm usually a few years behind on things, but like they force you to update. So annoying. Yeah, I can't think of any old software that I'm still running on Windows or Mac. And old software that I would want to run. It might be interesting to use like version 4 of FL Studio or something like that, like when I first got into it. But I'm not gonna like permanently use the oldest version. I don't know. But on the other hand, for real tools, I'm looking at like 1960s tools, and like that's what I want to use. I don't want to buy a brand new Chinese made hammer that's gonna last a year. I want something that's already lasted like 50-60 years. And amazingly, they're cheaper. They just require some skill to like remove rust. That's all I want. For audio gear, like pedals, guitars, like old stuff is totally fine. Comes in and out of fashion, but like if it sounds good, then like you can keep using it. Software, I don't want to invest in software anymore. My go-to media player in Mac OS, YouTube Music. If you open it in Safari and then save it as an app, I forget what it's called exactly. There's the share button. I think it is. The share button will, what is it called? Not share button. I forget what it's called. But there's a way to like save it as basically save it as an app. I guess it's add to dock. And so yeah, if you look at so this looks like a YouTube Music app, but there is no Mac version of the YouTube Music app. or there isn't one at all. They could easily just make the iPad version work on any M1 or M series Mac, but they don't. So I just made my own, basically. You need the latest version of macOS to do that, though. It's like a web app, I guess. You could do this thing on Safari for iPad or iOS for years. But yeah, now it's an app. And so I can control the volume and things like that. Access it from OBS, all those sorts of things. What's that thing called? I thought it was called Replay. I think it might actually be Windows only. There is like a JSFX version of Winamp. Polyan's coming out with an analog compressor called Press. Cool. Is it also going to be a rack or a plugin? Have I picked up any new hardware recently? I've got this, borrowing it from my brother, the RP80 from Digitech. I had the RP50, I think it was, when I first started playing guitar. And he had this. I don't know. Actually, that was one of the things I wanted to do, and I totally forgot about this. I need to figure out how to do the factory reset on that. But in a previous live stream, we talked about the zoom pedals. These GFX 707 and the bass version as well. You know, just to see if they lived up to the hype in my brain, because it was something I always wanted when I was not when I was a kid. I was a teenager. I was in my 20s. Yeah, I want to know, like, does it still hold up? Is there any redeeming values in that thing? Like, you can get them pretty cheap now. As a multi-effect, does it hold up to, like, the HX Stomp, which is like $400? I don't know. Probably not. Do I still have a BCF 2000? I do. It's on the shelf. Because it's damaged, I'm not really able to sell it. So, I don't know. Digitech Space Station is legendary, but expensive and hard to find. Let me look that up right now. Is it the XP3 300? Yeah, those are expensive. Oh, the yellow version, yeah. Maybe search for Show only sold listings. Yes, this. I think the JHS Pedal Show covered this. Is that what it's called? The JHS Pedals YouTube channel. I think they covered this. What's the RP 80 worth these days? $80? And where's there it is. Yeah. One of the best effects ever. Fits any genre of music. Yeah, I don't know about that. I had this one. I had the RP at 100 when I was younger. This one is significantly easier to program because it has knobs, not just push buttons. But I kept wearing out the buttons. The foot switch buttons would wear out, and I soldered in new ones, and I don't know, eventually got sick of doing that. But I use that a lot. Anyways, but yeah, the other one, I'm curious if there's value in having that as your modulation effect or as just your delay and reverb or something like that, instead of a few other pedals. If it, like, for 40, 50, 60 bucks, is it worth having that instead of the current single effect pedals that you can get on Amazon and stuff like that are not great? I don't know. Guitar pedal or hardware synth need one to go. Which do you pick? I could part with more guitar pedals than synths. Only have a couple synths. Don't really want to let any of them go at the moment. Jam, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I actually wanted to check it out today, but I totally forgot that I was on the shelf. So, like, yeah, I just forgot. It's a bit late now to do that, but maybe I will do a video. I don't know if it's not Reaper related enough, I think, but maybe that's for the John Tidy channel. I don't know. Or we'll have to wait till next month, and I'll try to remember. If you're here at 9:30 next month, the last Friday of the month, remind me at the beginning of the stream if I don't mention it, because, yeah, totally forgot about that pedal. But I need to find the factory reset for that to clear all the patches, and then probably look up a manual for how to use it. Because this button navigation stuff sucks. And I'm thinking the factory reset will fix the side pedal, but maybe not. I might have to rip it open and see if there's any damage. Korg NTS1 is pretty cool. Yeah, my second channel should be linked in the About page. Picked up the Korg NTS1. Yeah, NTS1 is upgradable. It's like the effect engine of the Minilog XD. I've thought about getting one of those many times. I also want the oscilloscope kit. Korg makes some pretty neat tools. Toys. Anyway, I'm gonna waste hours if I look at reverb now. So yeah, I think we've done everything today. We made some demo music that sucked, answered some questions, browsed reverb, listened to AI generated music, and yeah, had some laughs. That's it for this video. That's it for this live stream, I should say. Where's the button? Thank you so much for being here. See you next month, hopefully earlier with videos. See y'all later.